Hello again, everyone. We get to talk football in February. It was National Signing Day, and we have you covered on this brand new edition of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. I'm Jody Norstedt. Before we get to the signing day coverage, let's take a glance back at some of our games of the week. I feel like every week we have a top 5 clash in Class B boys basketball. This week was no different, with second-ranked Thompson taking on third-ranked Winds-Minnewaukan in the South Forks Lions shootout on Saturday in Grand Forks. Oddly enough, both teams with just one loss on the year coming in, and both of those losses were by a single point. It was a packed house at Grand Forks Central. Thompson won this game a year ago, 89-56, a big win. Early in the game, it's Doug Yankton showing no fear. The 6'3 junior goes up and over the defender. Thompson's Caden Schwabe, he's looking closer to 100% after suffering that broken collarbone in the Dakota Bowl. That's a sweet take to the cup. Yankton comes right back with some nice moves of his own, dishing out to Jaden Yankton for the triple. Brandy George's Tommy's trailing 12-10 after the first. The Indians keep shooting away. Jamison Jackson, a former Midco SN game ball winner, showing why. The tray puts the boys in blue up 5. Thompson needs a spark. Jacob Dick provides it. His own mini run, and this three-pointer gives Thompson a 1-point lead. Rick Smith calls a timeout to try to settle things down and draw something up for his offense. I don't think this is what he was drawing up, but it's darn pretty. Doug Yankton behind the back between two defenders, finishing with a layup. We head to halftime with Thompson leading by 6. In the third quarter, Schwabe playing defensive back. He gets the interception, and it's a pick 6, only this one is worth just 2 points. Schwabe scored a team-high 23. Tommy's up 10. The fans in green pretty used to being in the lead. But Winds-Minnewaukan keeps attacking. Watch this circus shot by Keldon Kasia plus the foul. Moments later, Yankton showing why he's one of the best. 6'3", and he can shake and bake. He scored a game-high 24. The Indians fans see the lead trimmed to 5. In crunch time, Marcus Hughes finds Chance Danner for a clutch bucket to put the lead at a comfy 8 points. Running out of time, Doug to Jaden Yankton again for the corner tray. It's good. Lead back down to 5. But Thompson was able to solve the full court pressure and use their strength in the post. Hayden Overby, he must work out. The board, the bucket, and the foul. Thompson wins 72-60. The Tommies get their confidence back after being upset a few weeks ago by unranked Larimore.
I wouldn't say it changed that much. We just kind of realized, we can't go out and just beat teams just being us. We got to lock in both into the floor, and we got to go 100% every possession, every time out. So it's just kind of a gut check for us.
The difference was pushing the ball really fast and getting easy layups for us bigs. And yeah, it felt really good to get back on track with this win, and it's going to feel good for a long time.
I just think in our half court we got to tighten things up a little bit. I thought I thought they sped us up a little bit in the half court and forced us into some shots that were maybe a little bit quick in our shot clock, and so we got to tighten that up a little bit. And then defensively, we just got to keep people out of the paint. I thought they did a good job of getting their feet downhill on us tonight, and we're going to face other teams that do the same thing. So we got to work on that too.
Winds-Minnewaukan rebounded well from that loss. The Indians beat 4th-ranked Rugby on Tuesday night, 79-75. Only 2 weeks remain of the regular season in Class A girls hoops, and for many teams, now's the time to move if you want to better your position for the postseason. In the EDC, things have gotten very interesting. Undefeated Devils Lake has opened up a gap on the field, but the battle for second took an interesting turn. Shanley had the leg up entering last week, but got upset by Davies, which vaulted Cheyenne a half game ahead in the chase for the 2 spot. Those two teams met Monday night in West Fargo with second place on the line. The EDC's leading scorer, Riley Payne and the Deacons, hoping to get back on track against a Cheyenne team, hoping to stay in control of second place. First half, tightly contested. Kelly Chrisman showing a series of post moves. Gets the finish. On the other end, UND commit Maggie Manson threads the needle to Yasmina Dokara, who pulls the trigger from the free throw line. She ended up with 11. Shanley trying to make things simple and work through the post. 6'1 sophomore Moriku Hakeem scores in the paint. She nearly had a double-double, 9 points and 11 boards. Later in the first, how about some transition? Hadley Huber on target to Payne. The Deacons are up 16-10. Steve Jacobson happy to see the pace. Cheyenne making sure the damage doesn't get any worse. Mackenzie Newton with a huge bucket from the elbow. Then right before halftime, Nobody stops the ball, and Huber blows right past everyone and beats the buzzer to put Shanley up 28-27 going into the halftime break. Huber led the floor with 15 points. In the second half, the home team catches fire. Dokara displaying some aggressiveness. She pushes the lead to 8. Next possession, check out the cut by Brittany Huseth. Coaches love seeing that. It's part of a 15-2 run. The lead is at 10 for Cheyenne. Payne had a quiet night for the Deacons, but she came up big when they needed her. Down 4, she steps in and hits the jumper. Moments later, Manson inbounding, but it's too far, and Payne is going the other way for an easy 2, knotting the game at 56. Now we're tied at 59 with just over a minute left. Cheyenne trying to go to the post, but Kate Busek defends it well. Payne adds another steal. She averages 5 a game, by the way. Busek then takes it up court. Freshman Emily Sherma is left open for the lead, and why not? That's a cold-blooded shot from the freshman. Shanley rallies together to win it 67-61.
We just knew we kind of had to work together as a team. You know, our teamwork has been a focus all season long, and we knew that if we were going to pull this out, it was going to be as a team and not as individuals.
I think it's a confidence booster just knowing like we were down by a decent size like margin, and then we were able to come back in like the 6 minutes we had.
We work hard on our defense. You know, we've fallen a little bit behind where we need to be right now. But if we get that and our transition offense going, I've got 8, 9, 10 kids I can play on the bench where a lot of teams don't have it. So I think that's where some of our advantage will be.
From girls hoops to girls hockey, it's looking more and more like Fargo North South will be the top seed at state. They have yet to be beat, but Davies has been a team on a mission the last 2 months. The Eagles have won 13 straight and outscored teams in that time by a combined 79-6. It was a special night at the Farmers Union Insurance Center as both teams took part in the Stick It to Cancer fundraiser. The game added to the excitement even more. In the first, Abby Promisberger loses the puck, but it trickles right to her line mate Victoria Tatum, who beats Kennedy Cook 5-hole, and North-South leads it 1-0. The Eagles have the answer though. Taylor Clausen gets it in front of the net and then buries Morgan Savagel's rebound for her first career goal. We're knotted at ones going to the second. That's where we see Promisberger, the state's leading scorer, take over like she has all year. She takes the pass from Tatum and flushes home her own rebound, and North-South is back on top. But not for long. This Davies team was resilient. Just moments later, Alexis Matter tips the Paige Hansen shot from the point, and we're tied at the end of 2-2. In the third, 1 goal was scored, and we'll let Miss Promisberger walk you through it.
Tori hit it up to me, and then I hit it kind of off the boards to myself, and then I just kept going as hard as I could, and I saw the shot open, and instead of going wide like I thought about doing, I just took a shot where I saw the open spot.
It was a really good battle, and we knew like they're crosstown rivals, so we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we had to go out hard every shift. And it was just fun because a lot of us know each other on each team, so we've grown up playing with everyone, so it's really fun just playing against each other and just sticking it to them when it's our friends.
Wins in February are always great, always fantastic. So especially with as big as the night is tonight with the Stick It to Cancer game and everything else that's going on, all the support, seeing all the pink around the rink, the Stick It to Cancer shirts around the rink, knowing what's going on here. It's a big crowd for the girls to play in front of, and I think they did a nice job.
North-South still holds a 9-point lead in the standings on Bismarck for first place with just over a week left of the regular season. All right, it's time for Looking at You. And I'm looking at some evenly matched rivals. I'm looking at you, West Fargo and West Fargo Sheyenne boys basketball teams. You have a big rivalry showdown on Friday, and it could have a significant impact on the standings. Now, Davies and Cheyenne are tied for first place with only 1 conference loss, and West Fargo is just 1 game back in third. Cheyenne beat West Fargo at their place 85-73 back before Christmas, and the Mustangs are currently riding a 7-game win streak. Cheyenne has been getting it done on both ends of the court all year, and they feel confident that they can keep it rolling against some tougher challenges down the stretch.
We defend really well, drive and shoot threes. When we're knocking down shots, it's tough to guard us.
I think we're just really clicking as a team and working together really well and getting each other looks.
one thing that I think that's working for us is we just got chemistry. We got guys that care about each other, and they guys that play, they all give energy. They all do something positive.
As for the Packers, they haven't lost to an opponent from North Dakota since that meeting with the Mustangs back in mid-December. In the last week, the Packers have scored 116 points in a game and also held an opponent under 40 in a game. So they won't be lacking in confidence when they travel down the road to Sheyenne on Friday night.
You want to beat your rival, of course, but I mean, I thought from last year, I thought it was really like scary because I didn't start or anything. But then this year, I thought it was just another game. But I mean, if we get the win, that'll give us more momentum than any other game.
They're a good three-point team. We're gonna have to take away the three-pointer, and if I think we do that, if we just close on our man, get a hand in their face, I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, well, we had to come out and play defense and establish our defense first. We did a poor job of playing defense in our first game against Sheyenne, and that's what was going to carry us for the rest of the year, is playing hard defensively, and that leads into offense. So that's what our goal is.
Friday's game will feature two of the top 5 scorers in the EDC, with Packers senior post Luke Lennon, who's averaging a conference-high 22 points, and Cheyenne's Christian Kuntz, who's scoring over 18 per game. Let's move to the ice. I'm looking at you, Bismarck High and Bismarck Century. Who's the better boys hockey team in the capital city? I don't think we'll truly know until the region tournament championship. The two programs clash for the second time this season on Tuesday. The first game went the way of the Demons, 1-0 in a tightly contested battle. Round 2 was even closer. Bismarck goalie Quinn Ackerman was outstanding again. He made 39 saves in that first game, and he picks up right where he left off, making the stop. Matthew Schmidt was good on the opposite end of the rink for Century, making a handful of saves that were very, very critical. The Patriots did get the only goal of the first period. Nicholas Brown chips it in, and I'm looking at you too, Nick. 47 points on the year for the senior. He's been outstanding. Bismarck scored on a power play goal in the final minutes to earn the tie, but after a scoreless overtime, Century won the shootout 3-1 for the extra point, and I feel like Century might be the more talented team, but the Demons might have the edge on grit. Let's hope we get to see them play again for the WDA tournament title. A couple other boys hockey teams that caught my eye this week. Grand Forks Central pushed its win streak to 35 games to break the record for most consecutive wins in North Dakota, previously held by the 1974 Central squad. And a shout out to the Devils Lake boys. The Firebirds picked up a big 2-1 upset win over Red River on Tuesday, their first win over the Rough Riders since 2015. All right, let's go from the ice to the gridiron, because we can officially tell you where a lot of the top high school football players in the state are going to play college football. Yes, today was National Signing Day, and we were able to catch up with some of the top commits and signees across North Dakota. Of course, several players committed back in December during the early signing day for Division I. But today, a whole new crop of athletes made their decision official, including a few more North Dakotans opting for the challenge of Division I football. Let's start with new Salem-Glen Ullin Almont running back Braden Zuroff, who will be a preferred walk-on with the Bison. Zuroff chose the opportunity with the green and gold over a lot of interest from D2 Bemidji State. Zuroff helped the Holsteins to a pair of state runner-up finishes in his prep career, including this past season, in which he racked up over 2,100 all-purpose yards and totaled 35 touchdowns. Yes, that was in one season. The first-team All-State selection told us that on his visit a couple weekends ago, he didn't want to wait any longer to make his decision.
I was in the office talking to head coach Matt Ents, and before my official visit at NDSU, I kind of just felt like I was leaning towards there, and then I had a really good visit with all the coaches and had a great visit at NDSU, and then but when the question was asked, I think I was just ready, and then when I committed, I felt the weight lift off my shoulders, finally got out of the recruiting process and all that. And then, I don't know, I was just happy and really excited to be part of the Bison family. I want to see how good I can end up, how high I can get my skills to advance, I guess. But I think they're the best program for it to push me my hardest and make me the best I can be.
NDSU has certainly proven that over the last decade. We also asked Braden which Bison player he looks up to and inspires him.
You know, just being a running back, I would have to say Bruce Anderson. The way he plays, it's obviously it would be cool to play like that someday, but the guy's he's hard to stop, and it's just someone to look up to and try to be a player like that one day.
Zuroff told me that the Bison really like his versatility and are excited to get him into their strength and conditioning program to get his weight up where he can have a chance to earn some playing time. Now, another small town player that's excited to be joining the Bison is Central Cass two-time All-State wide receiver Jacob Halverson. Halverson signed on Wednesday along with 3 of his teammates, Nate Keim to Mayville State, J.J. Albrecht to Minot State, and all-time leading passer for Central Cass, Jonah Leitz, he's going to Jamestown. Halverson is a 6'3", 180-pound pass catcher that put together a great career with the Squirrels, including 38 catches for 752 yards and 6 touchdowns as a senior. He leaves Central Cass as the program's all-time leader in receiving yards. He had an offer from Minnesota State Moorhead, but the opportunity to play for the reigning FCS national champs was one that he could not pass up.
When I went on their visit, I just had goosebumps the whole entire time on the game day visit, and my family has been Bison fans ever since I've been able to walk, and my dad used to go to Dakota Field, so it's kind of just ran in the family. And it's just, their coaching staff is spectacular. I loved every single one of them. It's amazing to me. It's a dream come true, honestly, and I can't wait to get to work with them.
Halverson will be the first player from Central Cass to play at NDSU since the Bison made the Division I transition. Zuroff and Halverson make it 5 in-state commits for the Bison 2019 class. They join Fargo South's Dawson Weisenberger, Trinity's Caden Kuntz, and Fargo Davies' Jaden Clabo, who put pen to paper in the early signing period. UND added 1 more in-state commit. Mandan kicker Evan Arns will walk on with the Fighting Hawks, joining a class of 7 other North Dakotans that committed back in December. Now, over at Grand Forks Red River, a pair of players were signing to continue their football careers. Linebackers Nathan Schumacher and Dawson Brandvolt will both be heading to Bemidji State in the fall to play for the Beavers. The duo made second-team All-State last year. Brandvolt finished with 53 tackles and 3 sacks, while Schumacher made an impact on defense and in the backfield for the Riders. They say they're looking forward to helping the Beavers get some wins.
We've been playing together for the past 7 or 8 years, and it's just nice having a buddy just go to the same school, and we're going to get 4 or 5 more years together. It's going to be a fun time.
Sort of surreal, you know. I've worked my butt off for the last 8 years, and for this moment to finally come, I mean, I'm speechless, I guess.
Over at West Fargo High, a couple more players signed on the dotted line. Offensive lineman Brandon Steinhauer is bound for the Northern Sun after signing with Northern State. And Carter Evenson is continuing his career at Valley City State. Now, Steinhauer played a big role in helping the Packers win a state title as a junior. He says he's ready to compete for playing time with the Wolves.
They said that every man counts and that they're really in need of linemen right now, and I was more than happy to come over and help them. And, you know, I'm going to put all the work that I can in, and, you know, wherever they decide is best fit for me, I think that's where I'll best be fit on the field, and I'll just make sure to work my hardest to work my way in to a starting position if I can.
Joining Steinhauer in Aberdeen will be the Class 3A Player of the Year, Will Madler from the state champion Bismarck Demons. Madler was also named the North Dakota Gatorade Player of the Year after passing for a career-high 2,000 yards last year and 21 touchdowns. He should be a great addition down in Aberdeen. Here's a look at the North Dakota players bound for MSU Moorhead. There are 12 of them. Hankinson's Hayden Bowl, Ellendale Edgley Column linebacker Philip Hagan, Jace Hosel, a strong lineman out of St. Mary's, Jacob Hudson from Legacy. He'll go there too, along with Caden Jastrom and Jared Collenbeck. Now, Jastrom, he was a first-team All-State pick for the EDC champion Cheyenne Mustangs after catching 27 passes for 485 yards and 4 scores. He also recorded 4 interceptions on defense, so he can be a contributor on either side of the ball for Steve Lockway, but it sounds like he'll get a crack at wide receiver to start for the Dragons. Here's another 6-pack of North Dakota Dragons. You see some teammates on this list. Mason Langang and Noah Skalski from Century are good additions on the defensive side of the ball. Langang is 6'3", 220 pounds, and was named an All-State defensive lineman. Meanwhile, Noah Skalski was a second-team All-State pick after making 78 tackles and 5 sacks as a senior. The Patriot defense was something else last year. You see some others on the list. Greg Seville, a 6'4", 275-pound offensive lineman from Northern Cass, and Isaac Unland from Mulhall Lansford Sherwood. Unland could end up being a steal. He's 6'4", 185 pounds, a two-time All-State pick, and caught 29 passes for nearly 600 yards and 11 scores last year. He's a dynamite basketball player too. You can see another couple of teammates from Fargo Davies. Linebacker Jacob Martindam and wide receiver Brett Vetter will be wearing red in the fall. Martindam was a playmaker for the Eagles. He racked up 61 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 6 sacks this past season, and has also shown a knack for blocking punts. Vetter is a Swiss Army knife. He can hurt you running the ball, catching the ball, and in the return game, he piled up over 800 all-purpose yards this season with 10 touchdowns. He could emerge as a special weapon in the slot for MSU Moorhead, much like Central Cass product Grady Bresnahan is doing right now. Minot State nabbed 7 in-state players in their 2019 class. Central Cass 6'5" receiver J.J. Albrecht will head west for his college career. Jackson Lorenz, who played quarterback this past season for Central, will switch to receiver for the Beavers. And there you see the rest of the names, including a trio of players from Ray Powers Lake. Minnesota State Mankato nabbed 1 player out of the Peace Garden State, and he's a pretty good one. Davies quarterback Jesse Forknell, the East Region Player of the Year, will play for the Mavericks. The 6'4", 210-pound gunslinger passed for over 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns this year. Forknell did a great job of leading the Eagles to the state semifinal round this past fall. He also played in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl down in Houston, Texas in January. I'll have a blog post later in the week with a list of all the North Dakota high school college football commits, so keep an eye out for that. It'll be fun to follow these players as they get going at the next level. That'll do it for this episode. It was a busy one with all the signing day coverage. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.